Hello there guys, I'm Unstable Voltage and welcome back to a brand new episode of Civilization 5. This time around, I'm going to be playing the game on Immortal difficulty. Had a few games on Emperor, and I've definitely at least won one of them legitimately. If you've been watching stuff on my channel for a while, you know that I started playing this game a couple of years ago and I was just a complete scrub. Not saying that I'm that much better now, but I have worked my way up from sort of War Chief Chieftain difficulty all the way up to Emperor, and now it's time to switch to Immortal. So I'm going to be sticking with the epic game pace. My last game, my previous one as Korea, was the first time that I had tried epic game pace, and I actually quite like it. Makes the game a little bit more interesting. Takes a little bit longer, but at the same time it means that your units don't become obsolete quite as quickly. We are still going for the standard map size. Couple of little things that change on Immortal difficulty. First of all, as usual, the AI gets even more bonuses to things like construction, reduced construction cost, reduced faith cost, reduced research cost. They also start with an extra tech. So on Emperor, the AI starts with pottery, mining, and animal husbandry. And they also start with archery on Immortal, so they get an extra tech. And on Emperor, the AI starts with one settler, one defensive unit, one scout, and I think now on Immortal they start with 2 defensive units and they start with a worker as well, in addition to the scout and the settler. So the AI gets a little bit more of a head start. I have heard from a few people, including Marbazir, that the jump in difficulty between Emperor and Immortal is one of the bigger jumps in difficulties in the game, so I'm going to have to be careful to sort of micromanage a lot more carefully than I usually do. The only mod that I'm using at the moment is the enhanced user interface, which I used in my last game because I actually quite like some of the information it gives you. Doesn't alter the checksum of the game, so you can still get Steam achievements and things like that, and it doesn't really give you any information that the game doesn't already give you. It just presents it in a more easily accessible way. Further to that, I have disabled the career DLC. You've already seen career in the previous game, and while it's quite possible I might start a new game and not have career in it, the last thing I want is to be going up against career. The AI gets enough bonuses to its science output as it is without me having to face off against career. Now, I've been experimenting with different starts and different map types, and I'm going to go ahead and go for Pangaea. I haven't really done a Pangaea map for a while. I normally prefer Fractal, because I think Fractal gives you some of the most random and interesting maps. The problem is it very often gives you an isolated start, or puts you on an island with one other civilization. Any map that gives you a start, especially at high difficulty levels, where you're separated from the other civilizations, so be it Fractal, Archipelago, Continents, it all makes it very difficult. Yes, an isolated start is nice in some respects. You don't necessarily always have to rush to get good city locations, and there's less chance of you being attacked. However, it makes it harder for you to attack other civilizations. Also takes longer for you to find other civilizations, and you really need to find the other civs as early as possible in order to try and get the science bonuses. So we're going to go for Pangaea, and then that way we might be able to have a game with a little bit more combat in, which I know some of my previous games have been lacking. As for my civilization, a lot of people have been saying go for Russia or Poland. Definitely 2 civilizations that I want to play, and they are very, very powerful civs, but I think I might wait for Deity until I jump in with one of those. I was talking to Marbazir about sort of top tier civs, and he did come up with a couple of good suggestions. I think Arabia was one of them. What was the other one? The Maya was another. But the one that I'm going to go for is Babylon, Nebuchadnezzar. So what we get here mainly, we get a free scientist when we discover writing, and we also earn great scientists 50% faster, so it should help us with our tech. Our unique unit is a bowman. It's basically an upgrade to an archer. Has the same ranged attack, but it has a little bit more melee combat strength. So if they get attacked, they can just fend themselves off a little bit easier. And then their unique building is the Walls of Babylon, which replaces city walls. And while it still increases the defense and hit points of the city like normal walls does, it also increases the city's attack power as well. So you can actually do more damage when attacking with your city. So we're going to be playing as Babylon. So that's Babylon on Pangaea, standard map size. Immortal difficulty on epic game pace with career disabled. Let's go ahead and start the game. Alrighty then, let's have a look and see what we have here. So we've got a coastal start. We have a couple of hills nearby, so we'll have some good production. We've got some cattle and some wheat, so there's some good food. Got a mountain nearby, not really close enough to do anything with. No sea resources that we can see. Let's just have a little bit of a look in this direction with our warrior. Yeah, a lot of empty land around. There is a river over there, which would be nice, but I think this is going to be a good enough tile to start on. So let's go ahead and drop the city down right there. Now, we'll make sure that we are on production focus, but we'll lock in the food tile, because that way what will happen is when we grow to size 2, it'll calculate the food, we'll grow to size 2, it'll put the extra civilian on this tile, and then those 2 hammers will get counted on that turn. So we don't have a lot of early production, but that is fine. We'll grab a monument and then a scout. Let us make sure we've got our pottery queued up, so hopefully we'll be able to go and get ourselves a shrine. We'll also get a granary, but we won't need one too early on. Let's hope we can also find a couple of ancient ruins. It would be nice to get some before the AI grab them all. Well, haven't spotted one yet. Sometimes you get lucky and there's 2 or 3 really close to the city, and then there's other times when you don't. So let's go up onto the hill. We're going to use all of our movement crossing the river anyway, so we might as well go up onto the hill and get a bit better view of the area. Let's head south. Ah, there we go. We have found one, and we'll be able to grab that on the next turn. A little bit far away. Doesn't like that we've got a neighbour too close by. That's given us some culture. Still not quite enough to actually get a policy yet, which is a shame. Let's head a little south. Oh, we've discovered Uluru. Very, very good. This actually might be a good space for a second city if we can get there early enough. There's a couple of wheat. Would be a shame because we couldn't really settle on the river and grab both wheat. But there's a couple of wheat. There's Uluru. There's crab. Could be interesting. We're going to go for tradition, of course, because, you know, tradition just makes life a lot easier. Let's go over here and is that a hill? Yeah. Oh, another ruin. Brilliant. We should be able to grab that. Don't want to end up too far away from the city, so we will start heading back in a second. So that gives us 55 gold. Very nice. Let's go up there and we'll sort of head back round in that direction. So this is Pangaea. It looks like we're on a sort of a peninsula on the south coast. Population has grown. And that did put it in there where expected, but we're going to move you to that tile so that the food will count on the next turn. Brilliant. Speed things up a little bit for us. Okay, let's not go through the forest. And we have met China. Okay. So there's China. China is our neighbour. China can be an aggressive civilization. So you do have to be careful with them. Okay, let's start getting back. Our borders have grown. We have spread to the marble. Now, we could go and work that for 2 food and 2 gold, but I'd prefer the 2 food and 1 production right now, so we'll leave that as it is. And let us start heading... we'll go north a little bit and see what we can find. And hopefully, because this means we shouldn't have any isolated civilizations on islands somewhere, we should be able to just get our scout to explore most of the map for us. The only thing that's really going to hold us back is getting things like open borders and stuff, but we should be okay. Just trying to use the hills here to try and get a better view of the area so we can try and grab any other ancient ruins that might be around. And we have discovered pottery. So let's go on and get... Right, do we need any pastures? Yeah, we do have cows there. So let's go on and grab animal husbandry first and get those pastures. You are going to move over here. How are we doing with... Oh, we've done the monument. We're already working on the scout. That is fine. After the scout, we're probably going to want to grab a shrine as quickly as possible. Would be nice if we could find a city-state nearby. We could possibly steal a worker from them. Because stealing workers does tend to speed things up. Let's go up over and have a look at the north slightly. Adopt a policy. Let's get oligarchy. On to the next turn. We've spread to the spices there, but I don't think... Yeah, again, it's two food, 2 gold. So we don't really want to be working that tile. Let's go ahead and look over here to the north. 2 turns until Babylon grows. 3 turns before we get our scout. 1, 2, 3. We're also going to have those bananas within range of the city, which is going to be very nice as well. Got a lot of jungle around. Could make for an interesting start. Ah, brilliant. We found another ancient ruin. Let's go and try and grab that. So we have grown in size over here. You are working the 2 production tile, which is fine. I'm going to put you on the 2 food, 2 gold tile for the time being then. On to the next turn. Still haven't discovered any city-states yet, and only found one other civilization. We've got some free population. Found some barbarians. Let's have a look over in this direction. So with that population, we're going to put you into the food and gold tile again. We don't have a lot of production output yet, but we will get some shortly. So what are we going to do with our scout? Let's just quickly go and have a look down here to the south and find the south edge. You guys will be coming back very, very shortly. We'll try and do sort of a big loop and just find the coast over here. Another barbarian, half dead. But there is an ancient ruin. I'm glad I went that way now. Yeah, you guys have a look down here, see what you can find. So we've got some bison, some incense, some stone. So there's possibly a few good city locations on the south side of the coast here. Ancient ruins, good stuff. We'll ignore the barbarian for now, because we just want to grab the ancient ruins. Free archery, brilliant. Not going to complain at that. I'll take free text all day long. Discovered animal husbandry. So now we know where there's horses. We could go and kill that guy. I think I will. We'll take the easy kill and then we'll head back. So we need to choose research. And we are going to go into... Let's go into writing because we do get a free scientist. Let's go and make sure we get a very, very early academy up and running. We've met the Shoshone. No. Hope they're not too close to us because they're very, very good at grabbing all of the land. But let's go ahead and grab the ruins. We've got some faith. Very, very nice. Yeah, hopefully the Shoshone aren't going to come and settle all of the good locations. They might. Get a good production city down here. There is a little bit of desert, but at the same time there's a lot of hills. We can found a pantheon. Now, we've got a fair bit of jungle nearby. We might want to get the thing that gives us science from jungles, if it hasn't already gone. Can't actually see it, so I'm going to... Or is it culture from jungles? What are we going to have? Spices. Not really going to have many camps around that I can see. So what have we got? Culture from shrines, not too bothered about. Tundra tiles, no. Desert tiles, not enough round to be important to us. Fertility rights is always nice. 10% faster growth rate, but it can just lead to getting more problems with happiness later on. We don't have any fishing boats. We don't have any wine. Wonders we're not bothered about. Plantations, because that'll be a plantation. We'll have a couple, but not many. Yeah, there we go. +1 culture from jungle tiles. But again, only if you're working them. And the thing is, if you upgrade these tiles, like if we upgrade this, then the jungle goes. The jungle gets removed. So that's not going to be too useful either. +1 food from each banana, citrus, and wheat resource. Well, we only have one wheat here. But we also have a bananas, and there are some wheats down there that we would like to try and grab. I'm going to go for the sun god. And instantly that now makes that a 3 food tile. And that's before we've even got a farm on there. So that's actually quite good for us. You guys can move again. We're just going to go down here. We'll sort of swing around and head back up. Can't quite tell what is on there. Looks like it might just be another forest. So, you guys, let's just pop over there. Yeah, isn't really an awful lot interesting. There is a city-state down there, so I'll get my warriors to pay them a visit, and then we'll swing round and head back. So, it's going to take a little while, because they're in sort of dense jungle. We don't really want to be attacking or attacked by those bowmen, so we're going to give them the wide way around. We are up to population 4. I think as soon as we grab that shrine, we're going to start working on a warrior. No, that's not what I wanted to do. I want to start working on a settler. There we go. And then try and grab our second city before the Shoshone go and take all the good spots. Getting one on a river would be really nice, and it might make more sense to actually grab one here. And then grab another one over here. Or maybe grab this one first and then try and grab the one in the middle. Because that way each city would have a wheat tile. They'd both be on a river. They'd both be coastal. That's probably the most sensible way to do things. Ragusa, nobody's met you yet. Do you have a worker? I bet you don't, and it'd take me quite a while to get one back, but... You're going to move on in this direction. We'll start having a look up over here. We definitely need to find some more civilizations. Let's just have a quick look in there. You have wine, it seems. Can't see any workers, though. Obviously, we are trespassing, so they're going to get a little bit upset by that. But I was just trying to see if they have a worker anywhere, and I cannot see one. So I might just let those guys heal up for a turn or two, and we'll see if a worker appears. You guys can continue to move up here. See, there are bananas around. There's lots of things that we could get that Pantheon bonus from. Don't like that China's sniffing around too much, but there's not a lot that we can do about that. On to the next turn. We may just end up having to train a worker, which I'd prefer not to do if we can steal one. There we go. Is that just a normal mountain? Yes, it is. Let's go ahead and grab legalism. On to the next turn. Well, we'll wait for that because we just want to trade mutual embassies. It makes life a little bit easier for us in the long run. Let's get you guys looking up here. We might still find another ancient ruin. It's possible. Still no worker yet. You can just wait for another turn or two. It's only a maritime city-state, so I'm not too bothered about annoying them. Looks like we've got a little bit more open land up here to the north. Found some sugar. So it looks like we're on the sort of south west corner of the Pangaea. There's the Shoshone. So they're actually the other side of us. So if we start heading down here, as long as China don't head our way, we should be okay. I really do want to try and get a worker, though, without necessarily having to pay for it, so... We'll have a look on the next turn, see if one has appeared yet. There is another city-state. Let's go and say hello. There's Laventa. Obviously, the Shoshone have already discovered them. Do you have a worker yet? Not that we can see. That is a shame. Obviously, we're just annoying them more by moving into their borders, but that's fine. Want to steal your worker. There we go. Well, we've got the least happiness. That's not unexpected. We've grabbed writing, so we need to choose a new science. Not an awful lot of point in getting some of the things because we don't have a worker yet to build anything anyway. But I think what we will do is we will grab calendar and then go into mining. Unit needing orders. Let's keep heading in this direction. Maybe they didn't. Maybe the Shoshone Pathfinders didn't go all the way around there. So still no worker that we can see. So we do have a scientist where we need to get ourselves a academy. Could just do it on the +2 food tile. That's probably the better one to do it on. So we'll do that on the next turn. We'll get ourselves an academy. Obviously we're currently stagnating because we're working on that settler. What I should have done was put everybody on to production focus. So 15 turns. Still 15 turns. 15 turns. 13 turns. There we go. We can speed that up a little bit. We are losing money doing this, but that's fine. You're going to go here and we're going to construct an academy. Obviously, we do want to make sure now that that tile is actually locked. So we will be going for 2 food and 8 science. So it's still 15 turns. It's not really going to make a lot of difference right now. We'll keep our eye on it, see what happens. Unit needing orders. Let's keep moving you around here. We've probably got time for one more turn. And we found some more barbarians. Trespassing in Ragusa, so I'm guessing their borders have expanded. Indeed they have. Let's go ahead and look round on this side. We do want to try and get a... no, we can't now because we're just being blocked everywhere. But we do want to try and get a free worker if we can. We'll carry on moving this way. Oh, another city-state. I'd sooner find other civilizations, but finding city-states isn't terrible. Go on then, just one more turn. I'm just hoping some of these units get out of the way, and indeed they have done. Come on, Ragusa, get a worker. There's Mombasa. We're not the first person to discover them. That is fine. Let's keep heading over to the east. And that's pretty much all we can do on this turn, so I'm going to call that the end of the video. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I hope you're going to enjoy this series of Civilization 5. It might be tricky, but I'm going to do my best to get my first win on Immortal. So I'll see you guys next time, and until then, goodbye for now.